RCEP opens doors to multilateral trade for ASEAN member states. Director of the International Trading Policy Department of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce of Laos, Mr. Saisana Sanyakon, said, "Now we have more opportunities to enter the service trade markets of RCEP member states, especially the industries of tourism and transportation."
Through the platform of RCEP, Singapore.
Scholars and officials from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN member states, said that the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, has opened the door of multilateral trade while bringing diverse opportunities and benefits as the agreement has been fully implemented. The agreement entered into force for the Philippines on Friday. It was the final country out of all 15 countries to put the agreement into effect. Scholars from Singapore, the first ASEAN country to complete the RCEP approval process, believe that the agreement has promoted trade facilitation between Singapore and other states and has revitalized regional trade.
I think the results will come out very progressively to point to the...
Lo Yeo Kun, Director of the Institute of Governance and Sustainable Development of National University of Singapore Business School, said, "I think through the platform of RCEP, Singapore, together with all the member countries, can collectively uplift the status of trade. And think even though this alliance is very new, I think the results will come up very progressively to point to the mutual benefits of free trade for all member countries." He said, adding that, "I think that the ratification of Philippines into RCEP is a very noteworthy milestone. In other words, I think the RCEP would be ready to move into a new era. RCEP will be a role model of free trade agreements for all the rest of the world, for all the rest of the free trade agreements." Laos, another ASEAN country in RCEP, has benefited from special treatment of underdeveloped economies in the form of a longer transition period to better integrate into the multilateral trading system. Laos local products have been seeing increased exports advantages and export dividends as RCEP member states have launched a series of preferential policies, such as cutting tariffs, opening up markets, and reducing standard barriers.
ดอลลาร์สหรัฐเนาะ22เป็นต้นมานี้แม่นพวกเฮาสามารถออกฟอร์ม RCEP.
Saisana Sanyakon, Director of the International Trading Policy Department of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce of Laos, said, "Since 2022, we have approved 27 RCEP export applications with a total value of more than $600,000 US. He believes that cooperation between China and ASEAN member states will usher in greater opportunities in service trade with the entry into force of RCEP, and the industry is expected to become a driver for the Lao economy.
พวกเขาจะมีโอกาสเข้าสู่ตลาดเข้าถึงตลาดการค้าด้านการบริการของประเทศสมาชิก RCEP อื่นๆได้หลายขึ้น
Mr. Saisana said, adding, "Now we have more opportunities to enter the service trade markets of RCEP member states, especially the industries of tourism and transportation. Some of our industries will open up 70 to 100% for foreign ownership, which is expected to further stimulate foreign investment." RCEP comprises 15 Asia-Pacific countries, including the 10 ASEAN member states of Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam, and their 5 trading partners, namely China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. It represents the world's largest free trade area, covering about 30% of the world's population and 30% of the world's economic and trade volume.